Yo, what's up everybody? As a new player to RuneScape coming from World of Warcraft, one of the biggest challenges so far is understanding where to get gear from and what gear to even look for. Whereas in World of Warcraft, you just grab the highest item level gear from raids or dungeons and you're good to go. And then you just keep fighting stronger and more difficult bosses for better, higher item level gear. In RuneScape, some of it is from bosses, but some of the gear is from quest rewards or from achievements or minigames. And I don't even know where to start. You hit like 70 defense or attack. And I mean, most of my first month, I was just walking around in the black cape from a bandit in like the starter zone on day one and an amulet of strength from around the same time. But one thing that keeps coming up is the barrows gloves. I keep seeing this in comments. I keep seeing this on the wiki. And it is tied behind the Recipe Disaster quest chain, which apparently was very long. So that was the next goal, and what most of this video is about is working towards these barrows gloves. The big quest chains that blocked it too, like Desert Treasure, which was fun, and then a big mistake along the way. This is part 5 in this new player series, so if you do enjoy this, I'll link the full playlist, and do consider subscribing if you want to see more. Okay, so I went to Lumbridge, and I went into the Recipe for Disaster zone, where everybody was trapped in time, and I looked at what was left, and I had 3 completed, and I think that's because they were prerequisites to other things I wanted to unlock. So what was left was all of this wet east side, which had the monkey and Dave and those guys and the knight, and then the big ogre at the end. And on the other side was just the one guy, the dwarf. And I'd already done unlocking the dwarf zone, and I'd already got the ice gloves because I was doing the blast furnace. So I went and got the ice gloves ages ago. So this was a really easy one to knock off. Just had to grab the rock cake with the ice gloves and then take that back to the dwarf, and it was like 5-minute job, really quick. So yeah, just 5 left, and then the barrows gloves were in reach. Okay, then I went for the big guy on the end, the ogre, and I thought this quest chain was really good. It was funny. I thought the ogres were done really well. I don't know. I think the humor in a lot of these quests are done really, really well, and they also had a lot of like British humor in, which I really like too. So yeah, I thought this quest was great. I did mess it up pretty badly. I have like pretty low ranged, so when it came to using the ogre arrows, I did miss a lot, and then Chompy despawned, so I had to do that again. And then when I finally had the ingredients and cooked the bird, it burned. So I had to go do the whole quest again, which was frustrating. I didn't even know that was possible, but yeah, that was fun. But either way, this was definitely one of the better ones compared to what's next. Okay, next up, freeing Evil Dave, and I thought this quest was going to be sick. You've got the guy and he's in his black cloak in this cool like dungeon. They're all super edgy. I thought this was going to be a really fun one. This one broke me, bro. This quest it should come with a disclaimer. It should come with like a warning that says, hey guys, if you've got high blood pressure, if you've got like if you're anxious, if there's anything wrong today, avoid this quest and do it when you're feeling good, because this, right, it took me hours upon hours in that cellar. You're in a cellar and you've got to make a stew, and the stew has to be the right combination of herbs and spices. You're making a special recipe, and you've got the cat, and you send the cat in to get a rat, and the cat misses and doesn't get a rat, and then he comes back to you and he goes, oh, I didn't get anything, and then you send him in again and he doesn't get anything, and eventually he'll get one of the rats, and they'll drop a flavoring, and it's not the one you need. There was one flavoring I was short on for over an hour, and I was at one point the cat ran away. The cat, I didn't know I had to feed the cat. He just ran away, so I had to find out how to get a new one. Just thinking about it, I think it's triggering something. This was a rough one. It wasn't like technically hard. It was just so tedious. But eventually, I worked out what to do, and I made the stew, and the cat evolved into like a hell cat, which was really cool. Actually, I did think that was sick. But yeah, this quest was not for the faint of heart. But yeah, Evil Dave freed. I should have left him there. And then to do the next ones, there was some prerequisites I didn't have, like some quests, and they were really good. I think that the amount of quests that are in the game is obviously a lot, and I think trying to do them all at once is going to give you burnout. I think in my last one, I spoke about having to do loads and loads in a row, and it was kind of tedious, but genuinely, some of these quests are incredible. I've really, really enjoyed them. To do this one, you had to do Shield of Arav and then Family Crest, and the Shield of Arav was awesome. You had to like group up with another person and then both combine your parts of the shield, which was really cool. I joined one of the group channels to like try and find a a partner for this, which is really cool. The fact you have to like actually find someone on the other side of the quest is interesting. I thought that was cool. And then for Family Crest, you had to go into the wilderness for the first time. You had to actually go into like the Edgeville dungeon and sneak to like the back section and beat a big monster. So I took off all the good gear and went in with like basic stuff to fight this guy, which was just really cool. I don't know. I think there's definitely some quests, looking at you, what's it called? Forgotten Tunnels or something, that just are awful. But then there are some that, shine a light back and go, actually questing's not so bad. These two definitely shone as, some really good ones. But yeah, then you had to regroup again, even for the heroes quest. That was, I don't know, I did all these quests in like one after the other, and genuinely some of the most just chill, enjoyable questing experience. Everyone was just, down to help each other, because I guess everyone's in the same boat. You had to like go into the place to get the candlesticks, and you had to one guy had to go and get into the room, and you had to go into the other area. You had to distract the guy. I don't know, just really fun. I thought these were just really well done and really cool. I guess it would be harder if you couldn't find people. So if you were trying to do this at a different time, maybe this was harder. But right now, this was really fun. There was some other stuff like you had to go and like grab a feather from the Firebird. Just overall, like I just think these are some of a real block of fun, well-designed quests that were just really fun to. And that led to my personal favorite part of the Recipe for Disaster, and that was the knight, freeing the knight. You had to make a creme brulee, so you had to go and fight like an evil chicken, and then you had to fight a dragon. And I got a soft spot for dragons. I think they're so cool. I only fought one, and it was for the the Dragon Slayer 1. And you fought that dragon. That was pretty cool. But this was like the first one in like the open world. It's like red, named, level 200. And I felt so weak. I went and got a really good weapon for it. I got the whip, because the whip was like recommended as a really good item for 70 strength. And I went there, and just it took so long. I had like the dragon shield, the potions, the protect against spell on, everything going for me. And even then, I was here for so long. So yeah, I definitely felt I got a bit humbled here, and I felt like I was doing the quest a little early, maybe. I don't know. Am I? I don't know. But yeah, this quest was sick. And then you had to like have the special dragon, like what do you call it, like flame the top of it. Just such a cool quest. Yeah, I think doing all of these together was just a good day, and it made up for the damn cat chasing one. And then finally was freeing King Awawogi from Monkey Madness 1. And it felt so weird coming back here as after finishing the quest. When I first came here, I had no protection prayers, so I would just get every single mob was just like throwing stuff at you for like chunks of your health, and just constantly like shoving pies down to counteract it. So yeah, it was kind of horrible being here the first time. But coming back, being able to like turn into the monkey and go and freely talk to everybody was pretty cool. I thought it was good. And there was like the hear no evil, see no evil thing. Pretty cool. Good humor. Just generally a pretty chill one. The only hard bit about this was getting 70 cooking, which was kind of rough. I just stood at the Grand Exchange mixing jugs for like 2 hours. And then with the monkey freed, it was everyone was done. Everyone was freed. And I thought, we go fight the Culinarian, we get the barrows gloves. And yeah, this was a pretty long quest, 10 sub-quests, but it wasn't that bad. I got it done in a couple of days. It was fine. So I clicked the white little spinny portal, and it says, you need 175 quest points to access this. And I had no idea. I had 145. I turned the recorder on. I was like, I'm going to do this. I had 145 points. So I needed like, what, 30? 50, 60, yeah, like 30 more points. So I spent an entire day doing every single like tedious quest I could find. I just went around and just did like collect these bones for this guy, get this guy a drink, Romeo and Juliet, all of the like really easy, fast quests I could think of. Some of them were a bit longer. I did like the Varric Museum, which was pretty cool, but most of it was just go talk to this guy, give this guy some wool. It was just really basic stuff to get to 175. With that done, I go back there, and it says, you need to complete Horrors of the Deep. Wish I'd have known that before I just went and did a ton of quests. So yeah, then I had to go and do that quest. And then I was like, hold on, let me just look it up. What is that? Is that going to then return something else I need to? I look it up, and you have to have completed Desert Treasure as well. So Yeah, this is on me. I should have looked up a full guide probably, and like, you know, I was using Quest Helper to actually find, you know, parts of the quest, but I didn't know what was after the quest. I didn't know like this had an overall list of things you needed to do on top of freeing the people. And I'm sure Desert Treasure 1 will just be a quick and easy task, right? I'm sure no. No. This was a behemoth. This was a brutal quest. Some of the most notable parts was going into, you have to fight like a bunch of like mini bosses, right, to gather the 4 crystals. And you go into this dungeon, and you get to the guy in the dungeon, and you're hitting him, and he hits you for like 30s, like huge chunks of HP. So you protect from melee, and I'm just chilling like, this won't be too bad. And your prayer just goes boom, to 0. And he got me, and I went down there, and I go down in this dungeon, and then I revive in Lumbridge, and I grab a few things, and I'm going back to like do the run to the body, and I go back to the entrance of the dungeon, and you had to have the ring of visibility to see the entrance to the dungeon, which was on my body in the dungeon. So I go back to the quest giver and I go, hey bro, I need another ring because I've lost it. And he goes, no, you haven't. You've still got it on you. So I had to go to like the underworld and beg for my items back from the guy. That is just designed to just defeat people. It was brutal. So yeah, that was hard. And then I thought, you know, it can't get any worse, right? And then you go to the mountains, and then you go to the ice, and then the ice zone, bro. You're fighting these trolls, and I am using Quest Helper, but I'm not reading stuff. I'm just reading what the quest says. You know, I'm not really like looking at the tips very well. So I'm hitting these trolls. I'm like just fighting the trolls, and my health is just dropping, and my damage is just going to 0. I'm just doing nothing. And I'm sitting there just like hitting and there's just, I'm just struggling. I realized all my stats have like gone to 0. So I had to go and buy a ton of restore potions and then come back. And then there's a boss in here who freezes you. And I think I either, that one got me again as well, and I had to come back, or I had to teleport back to town. Either way, bro, this quest is brutal. For me, at least it was. Hey, let me know what your experience was. For me, this was brutal. And then you go to the temple, you got the 4 crystals, and luckily there was no like big scary boss there, but this temple just throws you out. You're climbing down the temple, and it was a tip, and it was like, you might get randomly thrown out of the temple. Yeah, cool. Not like constantly. I go down 1 floor, get thrown out. I go in again, I get thrown out. Like maybe I was doing something wrong. Hey, maybe I was clicking on the wrong tiles, but yeah, this was like the hardest quest I think so far. Just I don't know. I struggled with it a lot. But yeah, finally got there, and you got the new spell book, and you could finally do the Culinaromancer. And the Culinaromancer fight was sick. You know, you go and fight the big recipes, like the desserts, and it calls back to like different mechanics from the quests you've already done. Amazing. I think like as a quest chain, there was highs and lows of the whole like recipe for disaster and the prerequisites and desert treasure. There was highs and lows, but as a whole, like looking back at it, now I've done it all, I think it was phenomenal. I think it was an amazingly well-designed quest that tests your patience, your frustration, your limits, your like map knowledge, your actual ability in combat and ability to adapt to things outside of just hit the enemy. So yeah, I thought, you know, it was amazing. And these final fights kind of summarize that with how well they were. You know, you had to do different like mechanics. I don't know. I thought it was really good. Not technically that hard. Yeah, I thought it was fine because you've seen most of it before. So yeah, it was pretty much okay. I used the IBAN staff from one of the quests. That did quite a lot. And then I mostly just used magic where I could, and magic was pretty much fine. And then the guy himself at the end was probably the easiest one of the lot. So yeah, the fight itself was fine. And with that all done, it was time for the reward. And I finished the quest, and it pops up, you know, well done, you've done the quest. And I was like, where are the barrows gloves, bro? Like, where are these barrows gloves? I don't have any gloves. Like, what's going on here? All I've worn this whole time is a combat bracelet. So I'm wearing these gloves. And then I Google it, and I'm like, where are the barrows gloves? And it says you go into the basement, and you go to the chest at the back, and you click it, and you press like trade, or like, you know, purchase items. and there were the barrows gloves. But what else was there? A massive list of other gloves. And it hit me. As I was there, it kept saying like access to the Culinaromancer's chest increased, access increased. And I thought that was just like you're getting closer to the barrows gloves. I didn't know there was a chest with like 10 different glove types in. So could I have gone down here and bought the dragon gloves like a week ago? Could I have gone down and got some like decent combat gloves like when I did a couple of the quests ages ago? Because this took me like a week of like on and off different things. So am I just a complete idiot? I didn't even know this was here until I finished everything. So yeah, I went from the combat bracelet to the barrows gloves. Amazing jump up, but it feels like I made a massive blunder. Yeah, that's pretty much everything there is to say about Recipe for Disaster. Overall, I think it's an amazingly well-designed quest for where it is in the game. I learned a lot. I progressed a lot. Was there times I was frustrated? Yes. Was it worth it? Yes. Only other thing to mention is a Slayer update. Slayer is my favorite skill in the game. I think I've said that a few times. I adore it. And even though I don't show it very often, I'm always trying to do a few tasks to keep this ticking over. And yeah, I started leveling ranged so that I could use the dwarf cannon more and like level range with that a bit more. So yeah, I've been using that and I've been getting some pretty cool Slayer tasks. And I've finally got up to like a decent level. I'm like level 50 now. So I can use the person outside the gnome stronghold as well, which is really, really nice to have like a really convenient Slayer master. So yeah, the Slayer's is going really well. I've got like the Ava's backpack and Ranger. That's been pretty fun to like just blast out some tasks where you can use the cannon. And I had my first ever bigger and badder, which was like where the monsters spawn as a big, huge version. I didn't get any loot, but you get like a massive chunk of Slayer experience and I'm hooked. Any spare time I have where I'm not trying to progress a certain thing, I go and do a Slayer task. I love it. I could do them back to back all day. And maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's a Tism thing. I don't know. But like, I really think this is like my favorite part of the game when I'm not doing other things, because I get some people love skilling and some people love just like mining all day, or, you know, going and doing a certain skill like chopping trees all day. But for me, I just love slaying. Even though it's not that profitable right now, it's not that rewarding, I just enjoy it. I don't know why. I just really enjoy just watching the Slayer bar go up and just getting more Slayer points. I don't know. So yeah, I've been cracking on that, and I'm gonna keep doing that. Hopefully I'll hit some big milestones soon and get to like dragons or something cool. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I normally try and do lots of different things, but Recipe for Disaster and all of the side quests just took so long that it's kind of dominated the whole video. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments. I think the goals and the things are taking longer to get to now, so you know, I'll keep them coming as fast as I can. So if you do want to see them, do subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.